intensifying this race by ramping up efforts to deepen its influence in Africa. In the latest, the kingdom has announced plans to expand its diplomatic and economic footprint across Africa. Riyadh's new Africa package includes $25 billion in new investments and the opening of more than 40 embassies in the coming years. Saudi Arabia's Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Walid al-Khareji, made these announcements at the annual Africa Day celebration held in Riyadh. The Saudi investment package includes $10 billion in export financing and $5 billion in additional development funding by 2030.
It just happened, quietly, shockingly, and faster than anyone expected. Africa, the continent long dismissed by Western analysts as developing, has just overtaken Europe in tech investment momentum. A $400 billion surprise that's rewriting the global economic map. For decades, headlines about Africa focused on poverty, crisis, and potential. But those days are gone. Today, Lagos is the new fintech capital of the world. Nairobi is leading in AI research and green tech. Cape Town startups are exporting software solutions to Silicon Valley. And across the continent, young African innovators are building billion-dollar companies that are transforming daily life. The numbers tell the story. While Europe struggles with stagnation and shrinking venture capital, Africa's tech investment has skyrocketed by over 500% in just 5 years. Last year alone, African startups raised more than $15 billion in venture funding, while European investment slumped by nearly 20%. But what's more shocking is where the money is coming from. Not from Europe or the US, but from Asia, the Middle East, and Africa's own billionaires. And behind the numbers lies a revolution, one powered by smartphones, solar grids, digital payments, and a generation that refuses to wait for permission to innovate. Africa is no longer waiting for the world to save it. It's building the world's future on its own terms. The story begins with connectivity. In 2010, less than 10% of Africans had internet access. Today, over 600 million people are online, more than the population of the entire European Union. That connectivity didn't come from Western aid. It came from African demand. Companies like Safaricom in Kenya, MTN in South Africa, and Airtel Africa built mobile networks that reached the remotest villages. Then came fintech, the spark that ignited the entire tech revolution. It started with a simple question. What if you could send money across Africa without a bank? The answer was M-Pesa, Kenya's mobile payment system, now processing more transactions than PayPal in several countries. That one innovation inspired a tidal wave. Startups like Flutterwave, Paystack, and Chipper Cash turned Africa into the fastest-growing digital payments market on Earth, with over $700 billion in annual transactions. When global investors saw this growth, they couldn't ignore it. From Dubai to Singapore, venture capital funds began pouring billions into African startups. And while Europe's tech scene slowed under inflation and bureaucracy, Africa's exploded with creativity and speed. Countries like Nigeria, Egypt, Kenya, and South Africa became Africa's Big Four, responsible for over 70% of the continent's tech funding. But new players like Rwanda, Senegal, and Ghana are rapidly catching up. In Kigali, drones deliver medical supplies to remote areas faster than any hospital truck. In Lagos, software engineers are building apps that run global logistics networks. In Nairobi, green tech startups are inventing low-cost solar systems now exported worldwide. And unlike Europe, where innovation often depends on government grants, Africa's tech growth is driven by necessity. No stable electricity? Build solar grids. No traditional banks? Create digital wallets. No access to credit? Build peer-to-peer finance. That's the secret behind Africa's $400 billion tech surge. Necessity became the mother of innovation, and that innovation became unstoppable. Now global corporations are noticing. Google, Amazon, and Microsoft are setting up multi-billion-dollar data centers in Africa. China's Huawei is expanding 5G infrastructure across 20 nations. The UAE and Saudi Arabia have launched new $10 billion Africa tech funds. Even Elon Musk's Starlink is racing to connect the continent's remote regions with satellite internet. Africa is no longer the next frontier. It's the frontier everyone's fighting to enter. And Europe? Europe is falling behind. High energy prices, political division, and regulatory red tape have slowed its tech sector. Venture funds that once dominated are shrinking. Meanwhile, Africa is thriving, young, connected, and ambitious. The average age in Europe is 43. In Africa, it's 19. That means the next generation of developers, engineers, and digital entrepreneurs are being born and built. In Africa, this youth wave isn't waiting for opportunity, it's creating it. In 2024 alone, Africa produced over 700,000 new software developers, more than France and Germany combined. The talent shift is real, and it's global. Multinational companies are outsourcing to Africa because it's faster, cheaper, and more dynamic. Startups from Ghana and Tunisia are winning international awards for AI, cybersecurity, and robotics. And what makes this growth unstoppable is infrastructure investment. Africa's digital economy is projected to reach $712 billion by 2030. New submarine internet cables are linking the continent to the Middle East and Asia. Dozens of smart cities are under construction, from Eco-Atlantic in Nigeria to Kansas City in Kenya. Africa isn't just catching up, it's leapfrogging. By skipping outdated systems and building digital-first economies, Africa is doing in one decade what took Europe half a century. And that's what terrifies the West. Because for the first time, Africa isn't asking for permission or partnership, it's setting the pace. As one Nairobi developer put it, Europe built the past. Africa is building the future. Africa's $400 billion tech revolution isn't a fluke, it's a transformation. The world underestimated Africa, and now it's paying attention too late. Europe's stagnation contrasts sharply with Africa's explosion of innovation and youth-driven growth. And while Western analysts debate theories, Africa is building empires, one app, one fintech company, one digital city at a time. This is more than an economic milestone. It's a mental shift. Africa is no longer defined by what it lacks, but by what it creates. From the streets of Lagos to the labs of Kigali, a new story is being written. A story of ambition, technology, and self-reliance. The old world sees a $400 billion surprise. But the new world knows it's just the beginning. Because Africa hasn't just overtaken Europe in tech investment, it's overtaking the world in belief. Globe showing Europe, Africa fire, welcome to the new Africa. The world's next superpower is online.